This is the Eat, Drink, Fun Top 5 list of the best ski resorts in Europe. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris Miller, and I'm the founder and chief fun officer at Eat, Drink, Fun. I'm also a certified sommelier, a lifelong ski addict, and I've been very fortunate to have skied all over the European Alps for the past 4 decades. I don't know if you're like me, maybe you too are a little disappointed by some of the videos you see on YouTube that rank the best resorts in the Alps. I love AI, I think it's a great tool, but I'm not going to watch an AI-generated video to inform my decision on where to go skiing. My analysis is based on some actual lived truth. Someone had to get up early, get first tracks, make frequent stops for Jagertee and Hefeweizen, eat the schnitzel, dance and pound the flugelis at après-ski, and then pass out in a comfy featherbed. I assessed the 13 categories you see on your screen, which highlights food, drinks, and après-ski in addition to the terrain, lodging, and value. A more detailed explanation is at the Eat, Drink, Fun blog. The article is linked in the video description. If you find this video helpful, interesting, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell to get alerted when new content drops. It's an easy and free way to support the growth of the channel. But without further delay, let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 is Saalbach-Hinterglemm. Saalbach is a great all-around resort for just about everybody, families, couples, and it's a great time for small groups if you're guys or a ladies' weekend. If you've only skied in North America, it can be kind of hard to get your head around skiing and the culture in Austria. First of all, you stop a lot more for drinks and chilling out. The views are totally stunning, and the mountain huts and chalets are so quaint and adorable, you sort of feel like you're at Disneyland, if such a thing existed. The lift lines are practically non-existent, and the lift technology is state-of-the-art. But I'll spend more time comparing North America and Europe in a different video. For now, let's talk about the pros at Saalbach. First thing to mention is the lift technology and the size and the diversity of the terrain. Like all the resorts in this top 5 list, Saalbach offers access to more lifts and more terrain for normal skiers than any single resort in North America. Saalbach is known for its ski circus, which is a huge loop that takes basically an entire day to do. It's sadly also the justification for its regrettably creepy clown mascot. Sorry about that. But if you want even more terrain, of course, you can get it. You can get this Alpen card, which combines 3 regions. That's Saalbach-Hinterglemm, Leogang, and Fieberbrunn, with Spittenhöhe in the Zell am See region, and finally with the Kitzsteinhorn, which is above the village of Brunn. That expands your total terrain to 408 kilometers, or 253 miles, and 121 lifts. So as a frame of reference, Vail, which brags to be the largest ski resort in Colorado, operates only 31 lifts. The second thing to highlight about Saalbach is that it's got one of the best après-ski scenes in the Alps. I've survived several guys' weekends in Saalbach, and it's pretty crushing. It's basically a pub crawl on skis and snowboards. You start at about 2 in the afternoon, you end after midnight, and you make this steady progression downhill, both literally and figuratively. The highlight in true Austrian fashion is usually coming out of one of the après-ski huts at night, and you're still on the hill, so you ski down in the dark, which is only illuminated by the twinkling lights of the village below you. I do not recommend following your crazy German friend out the back of the après-ski bar and trying to ski down the back roads in a snowstorm and playing chicken with a snowplow. It's just not a good idea. Now, any authoritative analysis must mention any weak points or cons, but to be honest, in this top 5 list, the cons are really few and far between. That said, Saalbach gets an 8 out of 10 for snow surety, which is still great. But I have to admit I've been there in March and found some heavy snow near the valley floor. Unfortunately, global weather trends aren't doing skiers any favors. But fortunately, Saalbach maintains really excellent piste preparation and snowmaking technology to keep you on the hill. Up next, at number 4, is Kitzbühel, Austria. Kitzbühel has been a famous destination since the beginning of recreational skiing in the Alps. Kitzbühel is also home to the Hahnenkammrennen, which is the world's most dangerous World Cup downhill race. Germans call it Die Streif, which means the streak or the stripe. The course is so steep and treacherous that if a racer crashes, they're usually extracted by helicopter. You can ski the race course in all of its groomed and ungroomed glory after race day, which happens in mid or late January. Kitzbühel is also where I learned to ski as a munchkin, so it holds a very special place in my heart. The vast majority of the slopes are actually for beginners and intermediates. Kitzbühel has also earned the name Glitzy Kitz because it's always been popular with rich and famous people. In fact, you could say that Kitzbühel is the Austrian relative of luxury resorts like Courchevel, St. Moritz, and Gstaad. Fortunately, normal people can also enjoy Kitzbühel, as the most expensive day pass during the top season is about 72 euros. That's about $78 US right now, or about a third the price of a day pass in Colorado. Let's dive right into some pros and cons. On the pro side, we have to mention again an amazing ski infrastructure and the amount of terrain. Kitzbühel just recently invested 23 million euros in an already modern fleet of lifts. And in keeping with current trends, you can expand your ski pass by adding 284 kilometers or 176 miles by getting the adjoining Skivelt ski region pass. That's one of Austria's largest. Second, Kitzbühel is a great destination for eating, drinking, and excellent lodging. You can get top international wines on many lists, but you also have access to these superb Austrian wines made from the red grapes, Zweigelt and Blaufränkisch, and the white grape Grüne Veltliner. Grüne Veltliner is affectionately called Groovy for short, and it's a beautiful, refreshing white wine that is absolutely perfect for an afternoon ski break. The Hadisch Hotel Group is a top player in Kitzbühel's luxury market, having acquired some of the most prestigious hotels and restaurants. Their portfolio includes the Weiße Streusel, the Schwarze Adler, the Schloss Lebenberg, and the Goldene Greif. They also manage outstanding restaurants, including Gasthaus Kiesel and Berggasthof Sonnenbühl. If you like Italian food, the Sonnenbühl is an absolute must for an amazing lunch on the mountain. Kitzbühel also gets a perfect score for architecture and style. Kitz has grown in size over the years, but it remains this charming Tyrolean medieval old town center that has beautiful multicolored stone buildings and chalets, cobblestone streets, and upscale shopping. As for cons, it's got to be said, Kitzbühel lies at only 800 meters or 2,624 feet above sea level. That means it does not always have great snow early or late in the season. Even in January, when the Hahnenkamm race is coming on, they have a hard time sometimes getting snow. So, if you're planning a trip, I recommend February as the best month for guaranteed snow. As for the après scene, it's there, but it's not as big, loud, or crazy as in other Austrian ski villages. That said, the Londoner Pub, established in 1976, is a legendary venue that you have to experience if you're in Kitzbühel. Corvara in the Alta Badia region comes in at number 3. UNESCO designated the Dolomite Mountains in northern Italy as a World Heritage Site back in 2009. That should set the scene for how amazing it feels to ski in this region. These Alps are simply unlike anything else in Austria, Switzerland, or France. Combine that with a unique mix of Italian, Austrian, and local Latin cuisine, beverages, hospitality, and flair, and you've got yourself a perfect recipe for an unforgettable ski holiday. Let's highlight some of the pros, the most significant of which can be summarized in 2 words: the Sella Ronda. This is the largest continuous ski circuit in the world. It's a 43-kilometer or 26-mile loop around the enormous Sella Massif. You ski it either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and it takes about half a day if you want to go hard. But if you just want to take it easy, make a full day of it. You're in Italy. Kick back, sit in the sun, have a bombardino. The Sella Ronda is part of the larger Dolomites Superski Regional Pass, which is the largest ski region in the world. It includes renowned resorts like Cortina d'Ampezzo, Kronplatz, and the Dreisinnen. In total, a single ski pass gets you access to 12 resorts, over 1,200 kilometers or 745 miles of groomed slopes, and 450 lifts, all on a single pass for just 75 euros or about $80 a day. And that's in high season. Corvara is also heaven on earth when it comes to food and drink. The Michelin Guide recognizes 51 restaurants in the Dolomites ski area. That includes 1 3-star, 10 1-star, and 5 Bib Gourmand restaurants. When you visit, you have to try regional specialties like the spinach dumplings, barley soup, Südtiroler Speck, which is basically like dried pork, think prosciutto, but smokier, Casunziai, which are ravioli stuffed with pumpkin or spinach, and polenta. And what's amazing is you're in Alto Adige, which is Italy's northernmost winemaking region. The wines are as beautiful as the mountains, and for their exceptional quality, they're still an amazing value because they're still relatively undiscovered. There is a fantastic event that happens in late March every year. It's called the Wine Ski Safari. You can learn more about that at the Eat Drink Fun podcast. There's a link in the description. Finally, Normally when you stop in the mountains, you have a hot beverage like a Glühwein or a Yagate. But in Südtirol, you're going to have a Bombardino. It will transform your concept of spiked eggnog. It's amazing. The final thing I have to mention in the pro column are the incredible lodging options in Corvara. They're diverse and of high quality. You can stay at a luxury hotel like Hotel La Perla, which is a leading hotel in the world, but you can also rent these beautifully renovated, privately owned apartments for unbelievable prices. I did this a few years ago, and we spent €450, or about $475, for a 2-bedroom apartment for the entire week. Not per person, not per night. It was $450 for the entire week. Fully stocked kitchen, living area, dining area, balconies, gorgeous. Check out Residence Chiesa Crasolata in La Villa. Finally, I gotta mention some cons, but really, this is getting harder and harder. Corvara is not really known as an après-ski destination. It's more situated for families and couples. That said, if you want to shake your booty, there are 3 good options. First, there's Birreria Le Murin, which is the base of the Col Alto lift. There's Club Morezzino, which is at the top of the Piz La Isla lift, and that's at the start of the Gran Risa World Cup route. There's some pretty bouncing parties there, actually. It's a fun time. Finally, there's Skihutte Las Vegas. That's right, it's called Las Vegas. And it hosts a very special après-ski party for the hardier among us, because basically people are skinning up from the village of San Cassiano at night. They party, and then they ski back down in the darkness. Pretty fun. St. Anton am Arlberg. Say that 3 times fast. Actually, our British friends don't. They tend to just say Stanton. Anyway, St. Anton comes in at number 2, and it is the alpine source of a free, endless, and natural supply of dopamine and serotonin. It is true. St. Anton is great if you are a serious powder hound looking for a big challenge, and then you want to end the day with a huge après-ski party. So getting into that, there are 2 key things I want to highlight in the pro column. The first is a common theme, that's the quantity and quality of terrain. And the second is St. Anton is the home of the world's best après-ski parties. So going to the terrain first. St. Anton is part of the larger Arlberg ski network. That's over 300 kilometers of groomed terrain. I've heard St. Anton criticized for being only for experts, but I don't agree. I think the terrain is actually pretty varied, and even beginners can find a good place to get around. There's some really beautiful long blue runs that go for miles. Intermediate skiers are going to love the red piss and the challenging blacks, and for that I would highlight the World Cup giant slalom slope. It's called Kandahar. For the freestyle brothers and sisters, you've got Stanton Park. Take the Rendell gondola, and you've got 3 different terrain parks that cater to different ability levels. Finally, if you're an off-piste expert skier, the opportunities are endless. I would recommend going with a guide, and you're going to remember this for a lifetime. As to the world's best après-ski, St. Anton is truly a legend, and they keep it classy. There was a challenging couple of years in the 90s and early aughts when busloads of Scandinavians would just unload and go crazy. But to me, that's more a story of poor Scandinavian policy and starving their people of alcohol than it is anything to do with St. Anton. Today, the après-ski scene in St. Anton remains at the top of the charts, offering substantial diversity based on whatever objectives you have. Guests can chill in the sun, hang out at umbrella bars, enjoy great live music on the mountain or in pubs, and of course, dance and sing to their heart's content in the larger après-ski venues. The topic of après-ski in St. Anton actually merits its own video, but I'll mention a few places here. Number 1, of course, is the Moserveer. And if you're interested in that, you can dive into the EDF podcast where I interview its founder, Eugen Skallet. Other places I highly recommend include the Zen Hütte, the Crazy Kangaroo, and Taps, all of which are on the mountain. When you get down to the valley, it's Base Camp or the Mermel Bar for me. When we get to the topic of cons in St. Anton, we are really starting to split hairs. So it doesn't have the most famous restaurant scene, but that doesn't mean you can't get a great meal. I highly recommend the Museum Restaurant or the Alpen Gourmet Stube. Elegant, trendy, creative food. You should also check out the restaurant Oben at the Moser Hotel. That is just an easy walk from the après-ski party. And finally, we come to our number 1 best ski resort in Europe, and it's Lech am Arlberg. Perfection is an ideal that people can never achieve, but should always strive for. That said, I think the residents of Lech have come closer than anyone to creating the perfect ski village. From the eating and drinking perspective, Lech stands alone. Unique regional cuisine sourced with local products, outstanding restaurants, exceptional Austrian and international wines, the best German beers and Austrian microbrews, and unique local spirits. If you like spirits, I highly recommend a local schnapps made from red pears. It's made by the ski club, actually, Ski Club Arlberg. Just order a Roto Williams or a Red Williams. As for a village aesthetic, Lech is one of the most beautiful and stunning villages in the Alps. Everything here is privately owned and run, and they are very proud of that fact. Hospitality is personalized and generous, and families and small groups book year after year after year. Lech simply has it all. It is nearly perfect. I want to highlight 4 significant pros, the first of which is probably no surprise. It's the quantity and quality of terrain. Lech is a founding member of the Arlberg ski region. The Arlberg Mountains are known as the home or cradle of alpine skiing. One of the first ski lifts ever was installed in the next door village of Zürs. The Ski Club Arlberg was founded in 1901, and it's the oldest ski club in the Alps. These people know what they're doing. Slope grooming and preparation is better than anywhere I've ever skied. Main highlights include the Run of Fame. This is a full-day ski loop that stretches across the Arlberg region from Bart to St. Anton. It takes about 6 hours. It's 53 miles long, or 85 kilometers. You get 3 high alpine mountain passes and a change of vertical elevation of 59,000 feet, or 18,000 meters. Second is the White Ring, or Der Weiße Ring. This is a 13.5 mile or 22 kilometer loop with over 3.5 miles or 5,500 meters change in vertical elevation throughout the circuit. If you bomb it, it takes about an hour, and that's why they made a race out of it. The Long Train, or Die Lange Zug, is a 3-mile, 4.7 kilometer ski run from the top of the Rufikopf mountain back to Lech. It incorporates one of the steepest slopes in the Alps with an 80% grade for a nice, beautiful portion of it. The second thing to highlight is Lech's modern ski infrastructure. It's the best I've ever seen, hands down. It seems like every year a brand new modern lift is brought into service. For decades, the lifts in Lech have featured heated seats and plastic bubbles to keep snow off you. These slow fixed cable chair lifts, they're a thing of the past. Some tech exists that I've never seen elsewhere, like 3 cable cars coming into a single station and doing changing, or a single cable that services both 10-person gondolas and an 8-person chair. It's mind-blowing. Best of all, even during peak season, you're never waiting long in a line, if at all. It's got terrain parks, jumps, ski race courses, panoramic selfie spots, it's all here. And being a small village, everything in town is walkable. But you've also got ski buses that are frequent and free. Buses will also connect you to neighboring villages like Zürs or take you all the way to St. Anton, which is great if you want to stay there late and party one night. The third thing to highlight is Lech's outrageous food and beverage scene. In Lech, exceptional cuisine is everywhere, both on the mountain and in the village. Many hotels have excellent wine cellars and skilled sommeliers on staff to give you a hand. 2 great events are worth quickly noting. The first is the Arlberg Weinberg, or the Arlberg Vineyard. That's a 10-day winter wine and food festival that has special wine tastings with renowned experts, master classes, and gala dinners. The second is called the Köstlicher Ring, or the Delicious Ring. That is hosted by 4 of Lech's 5-star hotels, and it's basically a food safari featuring 2 wineries at each location. The fourth and final thing I need to highlight is Lech's architectural style and the lodging options. The chalets are charming and beautiful, combining traditional features with every conceivable modern convenience and comfort. Do you like heated floors and towel racks? I do. So you won't find an ugly building or mega hotel in this place. Yes, I'm looking at you, France. The lack of commercialism distinguishes Lech from most other famous ski resorts in the Alps. There are no big chains here. Lech is still private and exclusive, and there's a clear reason why royalty ski here. But we mere serfs can also enjoy reasonable prices at 2, 3, and 4-star pensions, hotels, and apartments. Quality is exceptionally high throughout the range of lodging options, and you'll find yourself spending about 50% of what you'd spend in North America for a ho-hum chain hotel 10 miles away from the slopes. Lech is truly walk-out, ski-in, with lots of ski-in and ski-out options. So there you have it, the top 5 best ski resorts in Europe. I know some of you may be a little miffed that your favorite French or Swiss resorts did not make the list, Of course, there are outstanding resorts in France and Switzerland. The blog article linked in the description explains a bit why value and infrastructure remain perennial challenges. I'd love to hear from you regardless, so please leave a comment. Please also suggest topics for future videos. Click like, subscribe, and smash that bell button to be alerted when new videos drop. You can also follow Eat Drink Fun on Instagram, Twitter X, and Facebook. And you can buy me a beer or a glass of wine at coffee.com or buymeacoffee.com. I'll toast you for helping me educate like-minded people on how to eat well, drink better, and always have fun. Prostia Seca.